What happens when one of Hollywood's most respected actors walks onto a talk show set and gets blindsided by accusations he never saw coming? In just 31 seconds of Joy Behar's opening remarks, a friendly interview turned into one of the most explosive television moments ever captured on daytime TV. Michael B. Jordan had arrived at The View studio that morning with nothing but good intentions. He was there to talk about his latest film, to connect with the audience. To share some laughs, the actor settled into his seat on the iconic panel couch, flashing that signature smile that had charmed millions. The studio audience erupted in applause. Everything seemed perfect. Everything seemed normal. But from the moment Joy Behar opened her mouth, the temperature in that studio changed. "So, Michael," Joy began, her voice dripping with a tone that immediately put everyone on edge. "Let's talk about your career. You've been very lucky, haven't you?" Michael's smile faltered slightly. "Lucky? Well, I'd say I've worked pretty hard to get where I am." "Oh, please," Joy shot back, waving her hand dismissively. "There are thousands of talented actors out there. You just happen to be in the right place at the right time." Whoopi Goldberg shifted uncomfortably in her seat. Sunny Hostin's eyes widened. Sarah N. looked down at her cards, clearly sensing the tension building. Michael sat up straighter, his jaw tightening. "With all due respect, Joy, I've been training since I was a kid. I've auditioned hundreds of times. I've faced rejection after rejection. Luck had very little to do with it." "Training," Joy repeated mockingly. "You mean like when you played a boxer? You think putting on some muscle makes you a real actor? Method acting is so overrated." The audience gasped. Sunny jumped in quickly. "Joy, I think what Michael is trying to say is that he's dedicated to his craft. That's something we should celebrate." But Joy wasn't finished. She leaned forward, pointing her finger at Michael. "You know what I think? I think Hollywood has this obsession with putting pretty faces on screen and calling it talent. Your generation doesn't understand what real acting is." Michael's expression hardened. His voice remained calm, but there was steel underneath. "My generation, Joy. I've studied the greats. I've worked with incredible directors. I've put my heart and soul into every single role I've taken. To sit here and have you reduce all of that to just being a pretty face, that's insulting." "Oh. Here we go," Joy said, rolling her eyes dramatically. "Can't take a little criticism. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Your generation is so sensitive." Alyssa Farah Griffin tried to intervene. "I actually think Michael makes a really good point. The amount of preparation he did for his role in Creed was extraordinary. I read about how he trained for months." "Training for months?" Joy scoffed. "Sylvester Stallone created that entire franchise. You were just riding his coattails." The audience fell silent. The other hosts looked absolutely horrified. Whoopi put her hand up, about to say something, but Michael spoke first. "Riding his coattails?" Michael's voice was measured, but you could hear the frustration building. "Sylvester Stallone himself has praised my work. He's talked about how I brought new life to that franchise. Are you really going to sit here and tell me that my contribution meant nothing?" Joy shrugged. "I'm just saying what everyone else is thinking. You're not exactly Denzel Washington, are you?" "Wow," Sarah whispered, shaking her head. Michael took a deep breath, his chest rising and falling as he tried to maintain his composure. The audience could see him processing Joy's words, weighing his response carefully. "You're right. I'm not Denzel Washington. I'm Michael B. Jordan. I'm my own person, carving my own path, and I'm proud of the work I've done. Every single role I've taken has been a learning experience. Every single character has taught me something new about myself and about this craft that I love." "Proud," Joy repeated, her voice dripping with condescension. "You should be humble. You should recognize that you've had opportunities that other actors haven't had. Do you have any idea how many talented people are waiting tables right now, hoping for just one chance? Of course I do, Michael replied, his voice steady but tinged with frustration. I was one of those people. I've worked restaurant jobs. I've struggled to make ends meet. I've lived in apartments where I couldn't afford to turn on the heat in. Winter, don't talk to me about struggle like I don't understand it. Joy leaned forward, her eyes narrowing. But you're sitting here now, aren't you? In your designer clothes with your million-dollar contracts. It's easy to talk about struggle when it's behind you. Sarah shifted uncomfortably. Joy, I think you're being unfair. Michael is allowed to be proud of how far he's come. Thank you. Sarah, Michael said, nodding in her direction. Look, I've never forgotten where I came from. I work with young actors. I mentor people who are trying to break into this industry. I use my platform to create opportunities for others. But that doesn't mean I have to diminish my own accomplishments to make other people comfortable. Joy crossed her arms tighter. Is that what you think I'm trying to do? Make you diminish yourself? Honestly, Michael said, looking directly at her, yes. From the moment I sat down, you've been trying to tear me down, and I can't figure out why. What did I do to you? Did I offend you somehow? Did I say something in a past interview that upset you? Because this feels personal. I am humble, Michael fired back, his voice rising slightly despite his best efforts to stay calm. But there's a difference between being humble and letting someone tear down everything I've worked for. There's a difference between accepting constructive criticism and sitting here while you dismiss my entire career as luck and timing. You don't know anything about my journey. You don't know about the times I couldn't pay rent. You don't know about the auditions where I was told I wasn't the right type. You don't know about the roles I didn't get because of the color of my skin. You don't know about the times I wanted to give up but kept pushing. You don't know about the sacrifices my family made so I could pursue this dream. You don't know about the hours I've spent studying, training, preparing, perfecting my craft. Asterisk. So don't sit there and tell me I don't understand hard work. Joy's face flushed red, but she pressed on. So now we're going to make this about race. Really? That's where we're going. The entire studio went dead quiet. You could have heard a pin drop. Sunny's mouth dropped open in shock. Whoopi immediately cut in, her voice sharp and authoritative. Joy, that's completely inappropriate. Okay. That is not how we conduct ourselves on this show. What? Joy protested, throwing her hands up in exasperation. What did I say that was so terrible? I'm just asking a question. This is what we do here, isn't it? We ask tough questions. We push back. We challenge our guests. No, Michael said firmly, his voice cutting through the tension like a knife. You're not asking a question. You're dismissing my lived experience. You're trying to make me feel small. You're invalidating everything I just said by reducing it to some kind of excuse or deflection. And I'm not going to sit here and let you do that. I won't do it. I have too much respect for myself and too much respect for everyone who looks like me and has fought through the same battles. Joy waved her hand dismissively, as if swatting away his words like annoying flies. You're being dramatic, my dear. Overreacting. This is a talk show. We're having a conversation. This is what discourse looks like. If you can't handle it, maybe you're not ready for the big leagues. A conversation. Michael's voice rose slightly, the frustration finally breaking through his careful control. This isn't a conversation. A conversation involves mutual respect. A conversation involves two people actually listening to each other. A conversation doesn't involve one person attacking another from the moment they sit down. This is you, taking cheap shots at me because you can. This is you using your platform to belittle someone for reasons I genuinely cannot understand. Alyssa nodded vigorously, her face flushed with emotion. Michael's absolutely right. Joy, this has been pretty hostile from the very start. From your first question, you've been antagonistic. There's a way to challenge someone without being cruel. Joy turned to Alyssa with a sharp look. Stay out of this. I've been doing this show for years. Been in this business longer than you've been alive. I know how to conduct an interview. I don't need you telling me how to do my job. An interview where you respect your guest, Sunny added. Michael came here in good faith. Good faith. Joy laughed bitterly. He came here to promote his movie? Let's not pretend this is some noble endeavor. Michael stood up slowly, deliberately. His movements were controlled, purposeful. The studio lights caught the determination in his eyes. You know what, Joy? You're absolutely right about one thing. I came here to promote my movie. But I also came here thinking I'd be treated with basic human decency. I came here thinking this would be a respectful exchange. Clearly, I was wrong about that. Clearly, I misjudged the situation entirely. Oh, sit down, Joy commanded, her voice sharp and imperious. You're not going anywhere. We're not finished here. You don't just get to walk away because your feelings are hurt. Actually, Michael said, his voice calm but unwavering, his posture straight and dignified. I am going somewhere. I'm leaving. And, yes, I absolutely do get to walk away. I don't need to be here. I don't need to subject myself to this. I don't need to sit here and be insulted on national television while you pretend it's journalism. This isn't an interview anymore. This is just cruelty. Whoopi stood up too, her face etched with concern and frustration. Michael, please, let's take a breath here. Let's all just take a moment and reset. We can start over. We can have a real conversation about your work, about the things you're passionate about. This doesn't have to end this way. No, Whoopi, Michael said respectfully, his voice softer when addressing her. And I mean this with all the respect in the world for you. I appreciate you. I really do. I've admired your work my entire life. You're a legend, and you've always conducted yourself with grace and dignity. But I can't stay here. This isn't healthy. This isn't productive. This isn't the kind of environment where any meaningful dialogue can happen. Joy has made it clear how she feels about me, and staying here would only validate this kind of treatment. Joy crossed her arms defiantly, her chin jutting out stubbornly. So you're just going to run away? Can't handle a tough interview? This is exactly what I was talking about earlier. Your generation can't take any criticism. Everything is an attack. Everything is offensive. Everyone needs to be coddled and protected from any kind of challenge. Michael turned to face her directly, his gaze steady and unflinching. This isn't a tough interview, Joy, and you know it. A tough interview is someone asking me challenging questions about my work, my choices, my views on important issues. A tough interview is when someone pushes me to think deeper, to articulate my positions more clearly, to defend my artistic choices with substance. This is just you being cruel for no reason that I can understand. And this is you using your position of power to punch down at someone who came here in good faith. And I won't be part of it. I refuse to participate in this. Cruel? Joy's voice rose, her face reddening even more. I'm being honest. Someone needs to tell you the truth. Someone needs to pop that bubble you're living in where everyone tells you how great you are all the time. The truth? Mikkel's composure was remarkable given the circumstances. His voice stayed controlled despite the clear emotion underneath. The truth is that you invited me here under false pretenses. The truth is that you've spent the last several minutes trying to tear me down piece by piece. The truth is that you've insulted my intelligence, my talent, my work ethic, and my integrity. The truth is that you've shown me and everyone watching exactly who you really are. And the truth is that I deserve better than this. Every guest who comes on this show deserves better than this. Sarah spoke up softly, her voice trembling slightly with emotion. Michael, we're so sorry about this. This isn't how we normally do things. This isn't who we are as a show. You deserve an apology. You deserve to come here and have a genuine conversation about your work and your life. This should never have happened. I believe you, Sarah, Michael said, nodding at her with genuine warmth. I can see that you're uncomfortable with this. I can see that all of you except for one person are uncomfortable with how this has gone, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that you tried to steer things in a better direction. But that doesn't change what just happened here. That doesn't erase the last 10 minutes. Joy stood up now, her face red. Fine. Leave. Go ahead. Show everyone what kind of person you are. It's what kind of person I am. Michael repeated slowly. I'm the kind of person who knows my worth. I'm the kind of person who won't be disrespected on national television. I'm the kind of person who walks away when the environment becomes toxic. Toxic. Joy snapped. You're calling me toxic. I'm calling this situation toxic, Michael clarified. You've made it that way. Sunny stood up and walked toward Michael. Michael, on behalf of the show, I want to apologize. Asterisk, this should never have happened. Thank you, Sunny, Michael said genuinely. I appreciate that. Joy threw her hands up. Course, everyone's taking his side. Heaven forbid we hold celebrities accountable. Accountable for what? Alyssa asked incredulously. What exactly has Michael done that requires accountability? Joy pointed at Michael. He walks around acting like he's some kind of gift to cinema. I've never acted that way, Michael responded. I've always been grateful for my opportunities. I've always tried to lift others up. But I won't apologize for being confident in my abilities. Confident? Joy sneered. That's one word for it. Whoopi put her hand on Joy's shoulder. Joy, maybe. We should take a commercial break. No, Joy said, shaking her off. Let him leave. We don't need him here. Michael looked at each of the other hosts. Whoopi, Sunny, Sarah, Alyssa. Thank you for trying to make this right. I genuinely appreciate it. He started to unhook his microphone. The studio crew looked at each other nervously, unsure of what to do. The audience sat in stunned silence. You're really going to do this? Joy challenged. You're really going to? Walk off my show. It's not your show, Michael corrected quietly. It's called The View. It belongs to all of you. And right now, you're disrespecting your fellow hosts just as much as you're disrespecting me. Joy's face turned even redder. How dare you? How dare you come onto this show and lecture me? I'm not lecturing you, Michael said, setting his microphone on the coffee table. I'm simply refusing to participate in whatever this is. Sunny moved closer to Joy. Joy, please, let's just calm down and figure this out. Calm down. Joy whirled on her. Don't tell me to calm down. Perfectly calm. But she wasn't. Her voice was shaking. Her hands were trembling. The cameras caught every moment. Michael took one last look around the set. I hope you all understand why I can't stay. This isn't about being unable to handle criticism. It's about recognizing when someone is being deliberately hurtful. Hurtful. Joy mocked. Poor baby. Can't handle a little back and forth. It wasn't back and forth, Alyssa said firmly. It was one-sided, and it was mean-spirited. And it was wrong. Joy spun toward her. Since when did you become his lawyer? Since I watched you attack a guest for absolutely no reason, Alyssa shot back. The tension in the studio was suffocating. Production assistants whispered urgently into their headsets. The director was frantically trying to figure out what to do. Michael walked toward the edge of the stage. I came here with respect. I'm leaving with my dignity intact. I hope that one day, Joy, you'll understand the impact your words have on people." "Oh, please," Joy called after him. "Spare me the moral superiority." Michael paused and turned back. "One final time. It's not moral superiority. It's self-respect, something everyone in this room deserves, including you."